today's topic will be team building, and I'm happy to report that the team that I have built since last few days have been working well, and everybody is feeling empowered, and everybody has been given a platform to learn things quickly. I am also benefited out of that because the responsibilities have been shared, and that is how one gets to learn more about whatever one is reading, and the experiences have been also multiplied because of interaction with several stakeholders in our space. Right now it is digital space, and I have been engaged with the livelihood space, and then the database management space. So everywhere I had been leading the teams, and leading the teams is the teams which were not made by anybody else, but I made. Uh, I had to form those teams because my work demanded such, and without a team, I wouldn't have achieved whatever I have achieved so far. So, last 10 years significantly, I have been appreciated because of my team building skills, and mm, I'll tell, like say in 10 years back, this idea actually struck me because 10 years back I was heading a team at Meghalaya, Shillong. It was a very difficult state. Beyond Shillong, 50 kilometers from Shillong, one doesn't have proper roads, and the conveyance was really pathetic, and going from one end of the state to the other state, it is just say around sorry, four, 400 kilometers or so, but it would take one for hours and hours, like say for two days, because one has to get out of the state to Assam to get to the other side of the state, and also to reach just 80 kilometers of the state, it would have taken 84 hours at that time. And I was supposed to build a team of 230 225 people uh, across the state in seven districts that time in 2008 9, and uh, I had to retain people for whatever work we were starting with. So initially we had to retain people, we had to train people, and um, just give them a kiosk so to run. And at that time there were not much business avenues, so many the attrition rate was very high. I think I had trained about 1,500 people to retain 225 people eventually, and even then people were continuously were exiting, and I had to re-recruit, retrain, and place those people in those kiosks. So today those kiosks which were like say just 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 a place where people were to be manned, and people came there um, out of desperation because there were not much job opportunity available that time. Those kiosks today are priced at 3 to 4 lakhs per kiosk. Donation has to be given there. People have to deposit 3 to 4 lakhs of rupees per kiosk to get a kiosk permission. So I feel very happy that I had initiated that one, and in Meghalaya, such a um, difficult place when people actually were threatening me, saying that you are an outsider and people will not accept me. And my experience has been like, say, I had traveled all across the state without knowing any word, and I stayed at anybody's place because even today Meghalaya doesn't have many hotels. in the remote areas where to where I had traveled. I traveled to remote villages and I stayed at anybody's place I knew I could come, come across, and people had accepted, and I stayed with their place for 2 to 3 days. So, why I'm saying this is because at the end of the assessment, at the end of 1 year, like say when the assessment time comes, my immediate boss was actually, I had taken so many decisions which were just from my side. Immediately, those decisions had to be taken, so I had taken without waiting for uh, the senior management to approve such things, because it would have delayed the decision, and these decisions were needed to be taken immediately with mm, with the risk of getting accused and blamed at times, and I had taken because if I thought anything to be true and to be of value, always I had taken those decisions, taken those stands, and I think that is essential for a person who is leading a team. And at the end of that, somebody told me, like my immediate senior was telling me, like, say, you are too perfect to be human. That is a comment uh, I had come across, and it was a very strange kind of comment. Uh, Given that people want the team and everybody to succeed, right? And when the success comes, if it is more than 90%, they don't want to acknowledge this success also. So and there were two teams out of that 225. Actually, I was in direct charge of 130, and the rest of those were in the charge of the other person. So the other person was having lot of attrition. Actually, 90% of her team were quitting, and she has. It is me who was the overall in charge of training, recruitment, and training. So I had to do that, and I did that. But in my 130 people, actually nobody was quitting. So it was kind of a an achievement for me. So, uh, but still, I learned that lesson that when you go, um, when you kind of that was actually because of lack of communication to the immediate management, and that is essential part of an office setup also, and it also affects the performance, because the senior management, if they so wish, they can actually take you away from uh, take you away from the responsibility, and that is why yes, Rituparna, I'm trying to. So my friend is here, Rituparna is a very good friend, and she always gives me very very constructive suggestions. So thank you, Rituparna, for always being constructive towards me. And so this is part of the team management that is I am talking of. So Rituparna here, who is in my audience, she is part of my team. And team management is never a one person show. It has to be everybody in the team. And that is what I try to do in Meghalaya. And that was my first experience of team formation, where I didn't have any idea of, like, say, how to form those teams and how to go about the work that I was assigned with. The only thing I was given was we had to set up 239 kiosks across the state, and just we had to train people, recruit, find out people, train them, and recruit them afterwards, and also assign them. Assign them with responsibility which will earn them money, because there was no salary system at that time. So that was my task, and that was my first experience as well, and first experience at formation of team. And the same person who actually was had criticized me, saying that I was too perfect to be human, he only had given me a clue, saying that each member of that team, uh, doesn't matter whether it was 1,000 or 5,000 or something, I should know each member by his or her name. So I had to memorize it. Was Meghalaya people actually have very difficult kind of names, and so I had to memorize all those names. Some names were very English-like, so those were easy to remember. But no, uh, team formation is about knowing each person individually as well. So it was a trick, and it was my first experience. Although I had been a part of the team, part of many teams earlier, but it was my first experience as to form teams because there was a need, and I actually formed them, and I realized that need because of the kind of work. So anybody who is assigned with a big kind of project, that person needs to know very well that mm, the persons he or she is going to work with, those persons have to be actively involved and engaged in the activity. Otherwise, it will be too much for one person to handle the entire activity. It is to be able to deliver anything of quality, it takes teamwork. And when it becomes many brains, like say the quality comes, and we have four solutions, like say if there are four people, then we will have four solutions instead of one. So we have plan A, plan B, plan C, and there are a lot many. The bigger the team, there are more opportunities, more alternatives of plans. So that is the advantage of having the team. And of course, the misunderstanding. It will be huge misunderstanding as well when you are not very clear about your objective in the team, what you want to achieve. So in that case, it is the responsibility of the team leader to uh, to understand the problem and uh, be transparent with everybody, and it has to be some um, strong decision has to be taken, but it has to be transparent and for everybody to accept that. It has to be acceptable because the anything that is going wayward, that needs to be told uh, then and there. It doesn't need to be lingered, like say if you allow it to linger, then it goes bad, and everything, then it kind of aggravates to other people, and people get very very bad messages out of that, and that is what is not required. And one has to have that kind of ability to handle the team, thinking the best of everybody in the team, everybody's performance, and that is how the team grows. And if you have the team's growth, every individual's uh, interest in this growth intact, and that has to be ensured from the beginning. Everybody should know, every team member should know that the team leader works in the best interest of them only. So if that is made apparent to the team from the beginning, then the team actually collaborates and gives a helping hand. So that is the same kind of experience that I had, and I started my experience with that, and I did a lot of team management afterwards. And the same thing I had applied 3 days back when I formed this new team of five people who are going to work together as digital marketers as well, and some of them will turn to coach also. So there are many things come on, and we will be sharing our experiences. So those are the bottom lines of our team, and everybody is geared up and is doing his or her best. And I am repeating myself my success formula again, so that is why I'm feeling very good. Uh, Here, I would also like to say that this is something is observed, and this is learned, and there team building doesn't have just one formula. It has many formulas and many um, ways to for the team to be formed. And the team members also come from different background and with different um, attributes as well as mentality. So all that needs to be kept in mind. And the detail of team building formula is different. Once the top lines are, of course, more or less the same, but the details are always very different from one team to the other, and that is the specialty of the team leader to maintain. So that needs to be kept in mind. And uh, while talking about team building as something of a skill and is to be given to somebody, then three or four things should be kept in mind. The three or four things, like say, one has to be very empathetic towards the other person. If I'm teaching team building to that person, the other person might not be of the same mentality as I am. So it has to be given to him or her in her formula. So it changes a bit, but empathy is the common thing. That person has to listen to the other person with empathy, his or her team members. The the difference is the percentage of positivity in your mindset and the other person's mindset. So it may vary. Like say, at every stage, according to one's experience, prior experience, one becomes kind of positive or negative to every kind of circumstances. Four people are there, there will be four degrees of positivity and negativity amongst the team members. So it the negativity has to be toned down, and it because the degree is different, the team leader needs four kind of strategy to tone down it to the same level, to to the workable level. So that becomes the first thing. So it becomes the responsibility of the team leader to understand that there is different degree of negativity in the team, and it is his task, is or it is the team leader's task to be to to handle the negativity. And he cannot just blame the team uh, to to be negative. So that that understanding has to be there. That is the first thing that's the first thing and the foremost thing and the most important thing one can do. And if that thing is done, then the other tasks of the team handling becomes very easy. So sometimes it so happens that one takes decision whether to have a team or not. So that is very peculiar thing I find, because as soon as you form a team, the team becomes your asset, right? So the second characteristic of a leader is to treat the team as an asset. So that is the second thing. So no one, it is treated as a liability for many leaders, and the also the result suffers because of that. Third thing is the gender composition. There will be ladies and gents in the team, and both of them perform differently, and both their liabilities and their work hours and their attitude towards they work are different. So that thing also has to be understood, and it can be worked out, right? So if one doesn't work from 6 to, like, say, 9:30 to 5, and if one can work, say, office hours is almost the same. Office hour would be same, but people would become active only in different times. Look, so it happens in a office time within the same. Even if there are people, the gents, the boys also get active at different times. So if we can take that, we can accept that fact, then it becomes easier for the team to perform whenever they feel like. They can contribute their bit whenever they feel the most for it, and we should allow that. So some people will do it overnight, some people will do it during the day, some of them will deliver the next day. So that time frame has to be factored into the time planning part. So that is the third thing. And the fourth thing is the unforeseen things. Suppose somebody quits, then getting somebody else to the team as the fourth responsibility, one has to keep in mind. One cannot be assured of the team from the beginning to the end. The same team doesn't last. So, mm, if the team is too set and too comfortable uh, about each other, then they cannot easily accommodate the newcomer. So that is the time when the team leader has to contribute and makes the newcomer comfortable with that. So these are the four attributes, and yeah, with this, team building becomes very, very easy. Thank you.